Okay, guys. Clearly, I've given you an easy section while I'm away. That's all right. Sorry I couldn't be with you today, but that's that's okay. That's the way it rolls. All right. But we want to start. We want to get percents back in our heads, and we're going to be doing some work with percentages. And I just want to remind you of a few things with this section. So, looking at this first part, it says write each number as a percent. Now I've got two fractions, right, and then I've got a decimal over here, and we know that you can write any number as, well, you can't write it necessarily as a whole number, but you can write any number as a fraction, as a decimal, and as a percent. Okay, so if I have a fraction, I just need to change it to a decimal. Now, guys, I'm actually going to do this by hand here, and you know that a fraction is a division problem, right? The denominator goes on the outside of the house, the numerator goes inside the house, and we want to convert it to decimal. So I'm going to go ahead and put my decimal in there. 5 does not go into 3 at all. 0 times 5 is 0. Subtract, bring down, right? 5 into 30 goes 6 times. 6 times 5 is 30. Good. We're done. So changing that to a decimal gives us 0.6. Now you guys probably had that memorized already, and that's good. But I'm just showing you just to remind you what this looks like. Now that's what it looks like as a decimal, 0.6. But we need to change it to a percent. All right? And whenever we change it to a percent, you know that we're multiplying by 100. So we're just going to move the decimal point 2 places, and I get 60%. Beautiful. Any questions, Max? Good. I'm glad. All right. So let's keep moving on. All right. That one's done. Let's look at this one. Again, that's going to be 3 outside the house and 1 inside the house. Okay. And there's something interesting about this one, and I'm going to show you as we go along what we get here. I need to have at least 2 numbers behind the decimal point, okay, to do a percent, because you know doing a percent I need to move the decimal point 2 places. So let's work through this and see what we get. 3 goes into 1 0 times, right? 0 times 3 is 0. Subtract, bring down. 3 goes into 10 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9. Subtract, bring down. Okay, 3 goes into 10 3 times. Wait a minute. I see a pattern growing here. I'm not that smart, but, you know, this seems familiar. Okay. Now, guys, I've got 2 numbers already behind the decimal place. Okay. I don't need any more. When I have repeating digits, we like to leave the last bit as a fraction. Okay. So what I'm actually going to do, the way I'm going to write this, is actually I'm going to move the decimal point 2 places, and I'm going to get 33 and 1/3%. Okay? We like to leave that bit. We don't like to have decimals and percents together. It doesn't really matter. This is true. 33.3 repeating percent. That's the same thing. So if you write that, that's okay. All right? But a lot of times we'll see in textbooks, they take that repeating part and just write it as a fraction at the end. So 33 1/3% or 33.3 repeating percent, either one of those is fine. Okay? And then this last one, this last bit over here, this is super easy. Just move the decimal point 2 places, 470%. Done. Okay? Now, you can't talk about 470% when you're talking about, you know, like your coaches say give 110%. Well, you can't do that. I'm sorry, Coach Mullen, if you're hearing this, but you can't give 110%. All you can give is 100%. If you can give 110%, then that's 100%. Right? It's not 110%. It's 10% less than what you would have given, right? So what I'm saying is that you can't give 110%. Coach, you know what I'm saying. Help support me on this one. Okay, but now if I'm looking at, say, how much the price of something goes up, well, it could go up 100%. That means it would go up its value again. It could go up 200%. That means it goes up twice its value again. That's when we can have more than 100%. But when we say give more, you know, give 110%, you can't. You can only give your all, and your all is 100%. Okay? All right. So I don't know why I'm talking about that, but there you go. Okay, let's look at the next one.